for years. These were stories you almost never saw on television. A woman who began her transition in 1980, when society wasn't ready. A star who survived the darkest years of the AIDS crisis. A beauty queen who stepped onto the Miss Universe stage and broke 66 years of history in a single night. And a singer who was banned from performing simply for living as her true self. These aren't just stories about identity. They are stories of survival, loss, and a kind of courage most people will never fully understand. From rejection to global recognition, from silence to changing an entire culture. What you're about to see isn't just transformation, it's history being rewritten in real time. Alexandra Billings is one of Hollywood's true transgender pioneers, and her life story continues to deeply move generations of American viewers. She began her transition journey in 1980, at a time when American society, especially the entertainment industry, was far from ready to accept transgender people. Simply choosing to live as her authentic self during that era was already an extraordinary act of courage. What makes Alexandra's story even more remarkable is that she has been living with HIV since 1985, during the height of the AIDS crisis, when fear and uncertainty spread across America. Many people lost hope, yet Alexandra refused to give up. She not only survived some of the most difficult years in modern history, but transformed those painful experiences into strength, becoming a powerful advocate for the LGBTQ+ community and for people living with HIV. From being rejected in her early years, Alexandra gradually rose to become a respected presence on American television, especially through her memorable role in Transparent and other major TV productions. For many older American viewers, her story is about far more than gender transition. It is a timeless testament to courage, resilience, survival, and the dignity of the human spirit in the face of adversity. Alexis Arquette became one of the most talked about transgender stars in the 1990s Hollywood, not only because of her personal journey, but also because she came from one of America's most famous acting families, as the sibling of Patricia, David, and Rosanna Arquette. Alexis was already surrounded by Hollywood fame from an early age. That family legacy instantly made her transition story a major subject of media attention and public fascination. What made Alexis especially compelling to audiences was the way her gender identity journey unfolded in the public eye during an era when Hollywood rarely discussed transgender lives openly. In the 1990s, long before today's broader conversations about identity, Alexis was already appearing in memorable films like Pulp Fiction, The Wedding Singer, and Bride of Chucky. Her presence on screen, combined with her bold self-expression off-screen, made her one of the most visible transgender figures in entertainment at the time. For many older American viewers, Alexis represents more than celebrity history. Her life story reflects the courage it took to live authentically in a far less accepting era, especially under the pressure of belonging to a world-famous Hollywood dynasty. The intense media focus on her identity journey became one of the earliest major transgender stories many Americans remember from mainstream entertainment, helping open the door for greater visibility in the years that followed. Amaya Scott's rise from social media sensation to television star is one of the most striking transformation stories in modern American entertainment. Before Hollywood came calling, she first captured attention online through her ballroom performances, beauty presence, and a powerful before and after image that quickly spread across social media. That single transformation narrative, showing both her physical evolution and her confidence, turned her into an internet phenomenon almost overnight. What makes her story especially compelling for older American viewers is that her fame was not built only on appearance, but on perseverance and self-reinvention. After becoming widely known online, Amaya made history as the first transgender woman to appear in the Real Housewives franchise, a major television milestone that introduced her to an even broader audience. Although that chapter was short-lived, it became the bridge to something even bigger. Soon after, Producer Lee Daniels cast her as Cotton on the Fox drama Star, transforming her from internet hot girl into a respected television actress. For many longtime viewers, this leap from viral fame to scripted television feels like a classic American success story. Someone using visibility, style, and resilience to create a second act on a national stage. Her visual transformation, paired with her rise in fame, makes her story especially perfect for short-form videos and slideshow storytelling. Andrea Pejic became one of the most unforgettable figures in modern fashion long before publicly coming out as transgender. What first made her a global sensation was her rare ability to walk both men's and women's runways at the highest level, something almost unheard of at the time. Designers and audiences were stunned by her ethereal beauty, androgynous elegance, and the way she could seamlessly transform from a sharp menswear muse into a breathtaking bridal vision on the couture runway. For many older American viewers, that era felt like one of fashion's most shocking and mesmerizing moments. Her public transition reveal made the story even more powerful. A small but important correction. The original note said 2013, but the historically accurate public coming out year is 2014, when Andrea officially shared her story with the world and announced that she would continue her career modeling exclusively as a woman. That moment instantly reframed her earlier androgynous fame as the beginning of a much deeper personal journey. For longtime viewers, especially older Americans who appreciate iconic beauty and reinvention, Andrea's runway angel transformation remains one of the strongest before and after stories in celebrity culture. Her rise from groundbreaking androgynous model to one of the world's most recognized transgender supermodels feels less like ordinary fame and more like witnessing fashion history evolve in real time. The genius of her story lies in how identity itself became art on the runway. Angela Ponce made history in one of the most shocking and unforgettable moments the beauty pageant world had ever seen. In 2018, she became the first openly transgender woman to compete at Miss Universe, representing Spain on one of the most prestigious stages in the world. For millions of older American viewers who grew up watching decades of pageant history, this was not just another contestant walking the runway. It felt like witnessing a cultural barrier finally break in real time. What made Angela's story so powerful was the sheer symbolism of that moment. For 66 years, Miss Universe had never seen an openly transgender woman step onto its global stage. Then Angela appeared in Bangkok wearing the Spain sash, and the entire world stopped to watch. Her presence instantly transformed what could have been a routine pageant night into one of the most talked about moments in beauty history for longtime viewers, especially those who love the elegance and nostalgia of classic pageants. Angela's journey carries the emotional power of transformation and triumph. She went from living under outdated beauty standards that once excluded transgender women to becoming the woman who helped redefine those standards forever. The runway walk, the evening gown visuals, and the worldwide standing ovation all created the kind of unforgettable before and after symbolism that performs incredibly well in shorts, slideshows, and high-retention celebrity storytelling. More than a beauty queen, Angela became a symbol of change, courage, and a new era in global pageant culture. Bülent Ersoy's life story feels less like celebrity gossip and more like the plot of an epic Hollywood drama. Already one of Turkey's most legendary singers, known simply as the Diva, she made a life-changing decision in 1981, undergoing gender-affirming surgery in London at the absolute height of her fame. For audiences, that alone was shocking. But what happened next turned her journey into one of the most dramatic transgender stories in entertainment history. When Bülent returned home, Turkey was under military rule, and the government imposed a nationwide ban on her public performances simply because she was transgender. For a singer whose voice had defined an era, losing the microphone was like losing her identity. The ban stretched for years, forcing her into exile in West Germany while she fought a painful legal battle just to be recognized as a woman. At one point, after her petition was rejected in 1982, the emotional toll became so severe that she attempted suicide. What makes this story so powerful for older American viewers is the triumphant comeback. In 1988 to 1989, changes to Turkey's civil code finally allowed her legal gender recognition, and she returned to the stage even more beloved than before. The woman once silenced by law became a national icon, with fans affectionately calling her diva and elder sister. Her journey from being banned from the microphone to changing the cultural and legal landscape of an entire nation remains one of the most unforgettable before and after stories in global celebrity history. Caitlyn Jenner was once the very image of American masculinity, the Olympic hero who won the gold medal in the 1976 decathlon, a symbol of strength, discipline, and determination. That is exactly why the truth behind her life story stunned millions of Americans, especially older generations who remember watching her at the height of her fame. Few people knew that behind the athletic glory and the public image of a famous television father, Caitlyn had been quietly struggling with her gender identity for more than half a century. That inner conflict began at a very young age. But in an America shaped by the social expectations and stigma of past decades, she felt forced to remain silent. The shocking turning point came in 2015, when the world saw the historic Vanity Fair cover with the unforgettable line, "Call me Caitlyn." That image was more than a personal transformation. It became a major cultural moment that dominated American media for months. Then in 2017, in her memoir, The Secrets of My Life, Caitlyn revealed that she had undergone gender confirmation surgery earlier that January, bringing to a close a journey that had lasted decades, and finally allowing her to live as her true self. Candace Cain, born in 1971 as Brendan McDaniel, is widely recognized as a pioneering figure in raising awareness and visibility for transgender individuals in Hollywood. From an early age, she understood her true gender identity and made the courageous decision to live authentically, at a time when societal understanding and acceptance were still limited. Before entering the spotlight, Candace had already transitioned and established her life as a woman. This personal journey not only reflected her resilience, but also laid the foundation for her future career in the entertainment industry. Her breakthrough came with the television series Dirty Sexy Money, 2007 to 2009, where she portrayed Carmelita Rayner. This role marked one of the first times a transgender actress played a transgender character on American primetime television, rather than relying on shock value. Her performance stood out for its honesty and emotional depth, offering audiences a rare and respectful portrayal. Beyond her acting career, Candace Cain has become an important trailblazer for the LGBTQ community. She has helped foster broader conversations about gender diversity, contributing to a gradual shift toward greater understanding and inclusion within both Hollywood and American society. Tommy Dorfman, born in 1992, first gained widespread public recognition through a role in the popular series 13 Reasons Why. At the time, Tommy was seen as a promising young male actor, quickly building a name in the entertainment industry. In 2021, Tommy Dorfman publicly shared that she is a transgender woman, marking an important turning point in both her personal life and professional journey. This announcement drew significant public and media attention, particularly because it came while she was at a notable point in her career. Before coming out as a transgender woman, Tommy had previously identified as non-binary. This reflects a longer process of self-discovery rather than a sudden change, as some may have initially perceived. In interviews, Tommy has emphasized that her transition was not about becoming a different person, but about living openly as the person she had always been. By sharing her story in a thoughtful and open way, she has helped audiences better understand the experiences of transgender individuals. Choosing to speak publicly during a time of professional visibility allowed her story to reach a wide audience, contributing to broader conversations about gender identity and acceptance in modern society. And maybe that's what makes these stories unforgettable. Not the headlines, not the shock, but the quiet courage it took to keep going when the world wasn't ready. Because behind every transformation, there was a moment of fear, a moment of doubt, and a choice to live authentically, no matter the cost. These stories didn't just change lives, they changed what the world believes is possible. And maybe the most powerful part is this: somewhere out there, someone is watching and finding the courage to become who they truly are. If this video made you think, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss what comes next. And I want to ask you, which story impacted you the most?